What is good? Osiris here, stuck in the middle. Thank you for stopping by. Prayers up because Brittney Griner got hemmed up over in Russia. Scary stuff. WNBA star detained in Russia over possession of cannabis oil. In February of this year, an athlete who flew to Moscow from New York went through the Green Corridor. This is a statement from the customs in Russia. The service dog of the Sheremetyevo customs indicated that drugs may be in the carry-on luggage of a U.S. citizen. After scanning the bag, the customs officers noticed vapes. The experts found that the cartridges for them contain liquid with hash oil. And for us in America, there's some details about how much she had. I don't trust Russia. I don't know. She should be innocent until proven guilty, but this is a tough situation. She could face between 5 and 10 years. And we know the geopolitical background this is happening in. You know, when America sends out those notices for citizens in dangerous places to come on home, like they did leading up to this whole Russia-Ukraine thing, you might want to listen. W players, I think they mean women players, especially black players, have spoke on how they have to be very careful about how they operate being in China or Russia to avoid being arrested or barred from the country. Brittney Griner is about to be used as a geopolitical pawn. I agree. When we could have paid them fairly here. Well, fair is all in the matter of the perspective. Brittney Griner makes good cash here, in my opinion, $220,000. But I've heard, I don't know the details, in Russia, where she was to play women's basketball, they could make 10 times that just for playing basketball. This doesn't even count endorsements. So she was over there in Russia getting her grind on. But I want to take it back to the summer of love. Brittney Griner says she will protest during the national anthem all season. As a part of the WNBA's demonstration against police brutality, she was with the Phoenix Mercury star at the time. She revealed that she won't be on the court for the anthem at any game this year. I wish her the best. I don't want anything bad to happen to her, especially that's unjust or for her to be used as a pawn. But this is a learning moment for everyone. Brittney Griner said the national anthem has no place in the WNBA. I honestly feel we should not play the national anthem during our season, Griner said. I think we should take that much of a stand. No players took the floor. This was March 13th. Back then, this was in regards to Breonna Taylor. Brittney went on to say back then, I'm going to protest regardless. I'm not going to be out there for the national anthem. If the league continues to want to play it, that's fine. It will be all season long. I'll not be out there. I feel like more are going to probably do the same thing. I can only speak for myself. Griner says that this was not about disrespecting her country. Her dad was in Vietnam and a law officer for 30 years. She wanted to be a cop before basketball. So she says she has pride in her country. But at the same time, she says, I personally don't think, she's talking about the national anthem, belongs in sports. Black people didn't have rights at that point. She said when the Star-Spangled Banner was created, it's hard disrespecting a song that didn't even represent all Americans when it was first made. So basically her take is it was disrespectful during the time when it was made. So how could I be disrespecting it by not wanting it played right now? Okay, at least she tried to articulate her point. Some of her comments didn't line up, though. She said, I personally don't think it belongs in sports, also because it's not played at Walmart. It's not played when you go to Six Flags. Why is it played before sporting events? I don't know how those are related. Then she also said, at the Olympics, I understand you're playing for your country at that point. Her statements don't line up. A young, confused woman. And let me help you out on this one, Brittney. Look, I'm all for challenging our country to be better. Even if we don't agree on the priorities, kneeling for police justice, sitting out the national anthem, not coming out the locker room for the national anthem, and talking about Breonna Taylor. I doubt she would even be able to articulate, Breonna Taylor, what happened, the history there that led up to that sad moment. But it's not about that for me. It's about perspective. You can challenge the country to do better, which I feel like I do every day. I talk about Andrew Yang, math, make America think harder was his slogan. It's okay to challenge the country from whatever perspective you have to be better. I mean, that's the American way. If you challenge the country and you don't have the perspective of how well we have it here compared to other countries, then I don't want to hear what you have to say. It just has to be balanced out. Brittney made $200,000 a year in America and maybe made more over in Russia. There's a trade-off, though. Brittney in America had the privilege to protest. Russia, they didn't make it illegal. They didn't do martial law, but they arrested over 8,000 citizens reportedly just now, protesting the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Brittney in America had the privilege to stack her paper high while also being protected by the Constitution. They don't have those same privileges in Russia. And she's not just protected by the Constitution, because the Constitution is a piece of paper that's not worth anything. What she's really protected by are people who believe in that piece of paper. And the people that she probably would side with politically, they call it trash.
Some will say, okay, so are you arguing for throwing out the Constitution? Should the Constitution be thrown out? What do we do? Is it a living document? Or is it a sacred document?
It's certainly not sacred. Our Constitution is kind of trash. Now, let's just talk as adults for a second.
What did you say? It's what?
It's kind of trash.
Trash.
It was written by slavers and colonists and white people who were willing to make deals with slavers and colonists. They didn't ask anybody to look like me what they thought about the Constitution.
Yeah, Joy, you were right to jump in there. Wait, come again, my brother? What did you say?
Talk as adults for a second.
What did you say? It's what?
It's kind of trash.
Trash.
Yeah, that might be a different segment for another time. We are entitled to privileges because of the people who came before us, the men and women like her father who sacrificed to protect this country, good, bad, and everywhere in between. That's where our privilege comes from. People who still believe in this document. So as far as the national anthem, for me, it's about what we make it represent now. But if you have a problem with it because it was created during slavery, the whole world at that point basically participated in slavery. So I don't know what country you're going to go to that wasn't involved in the slave trade back then. But hey, whatever. That's fine. It's just a song. I couldn't care less. What symbol do you propose that unites us? Do you have a better song? Like, that's how great the country is. You could create a movement. I don't care what the symbol is. It's something to unite us. They don't have these same privileges in Russia, as she might well know right now. You're scared of racism in America? Tell me how Russians look at your black ass right now. Tell me how they would look at my black ass. You worried about racism in America? You might see a different side of things over there. If you got hemmed up in China, or ask A$AP Rocky about Sweden. How do they look at you, your black ass over there? Now Russia can basically hold you hostage whilst claiming you broke the law. I don't know what happened. There's a video about it. I don't know if it's legit or not, but either way, that doesn't change. They can hold you now. Claim that it's not a hostage situation. You broke the law. You're up for 5 to 10. I talked about A$AP Rocky in a previous segment, how he got hemmed up in Sweden. And guess who was the biggest, baddest voice for him? Yeah, Don Dada. And not even A$AP Rocky's fans. His fans turned on him because he was neutral on the Michael Brown situation. And what he said was I'm an artist. I'm not very knowledgeable. I'm paraphrasing. He was like, I'm not very knowledgeable on the Michael Brown situation, so I'm not going to speak on it, which actually was smart, because hands up, don't shoot was a complete lie for those who jumped aboard and didn't know what really happened. My point is, his own fans turned on him. I'm not saying Trump is some sort of hero. I'm not saying that he isn't, this is proof he's not racist. I'm not saying you should vote for him. My point is, would it hurt you to acknowledge the positives of being an American? There are millions of immigrants risking their lives to jump on board to come over here to this country. And you have nothing good to say about being here? Just my perspective, I'd be goddamned if I protested the national anthem of this country. That is protesting myself, not slavery from back in the day. That would be protesting myself. I am a part of what this country is right now, just like you are, just like everyone else is. Why the hell would I protest myself? Hey, I don't mean to pile on her. This is a tough moment. She has to be mentally tough during these times. I want Brittney to get out of this jam, but it's hard for me not to contrast that she couldn't find it in her heart to show up to the national anthem while we've got people who are in jail for J6, unconstitutionally held, without a speedy trial. Now it's just starting to get going now with jury selections and everything. Over a year later, they're in the gulags, basically. And you know what they're doing, or what they did reportedly every night? Sing the national anthem. And you can't even stand for the national anthem while making loot? Hey, if Brittney Griner wanted to protest, or anyone else in 2020 kind of became fashionable, that's their prerogative. Do you? For her sake, though, let's look on the bright side. If things don't work out, unfortunately, if she gets that 5 to 10, she'll have plenty of time to protest the American national anthem in a Russian jail. Let me know what you think. Take care.